Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's session. We've been running these sessions for about 5 years now, and we've never given it an actual name, and we're excited to present to you. Our show is now called Pulse on Productivity. And today we have Lior. He is the business owner and CEO of Amazing Business Results. We have Nelvin, who is our product manager. And I am Carol. I'm a Zoho trainer. And today we are going to dive right in with a few exciting things. So first of all, we have a poll question for you. So what this is going to do is start to collect some data around businesses and how they function so that you can kind of see where you are compared to that industry standard and see if you need to improve on anything. So that'll be pretty cool. We'll go over what's new inside of Zoho. We'll present to you a creative Zoho solution. And then we always have a feature for you that will be inexpensive so that if you need it for a business problem, you can utilize that. And we are incorporating now a mini workshop. So today we're going to have some hands-on stuff to do together. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then we'll jump into our problem solving, which will go over the questions we've collected from the channel.
Fantastic.
So the poll question for today is, what is your average first response time to leads? So we want to know what yours is, if you could just drop it in the comments below. And then what we'll do is collect that data. And on the next session, we'll talk to you about the results so that you can see if that's something that you need to improve on in your business.
Yeah, super interesting question. So guys, just so you know, I never saw any of those slides. I was not part of collecting this data. I think it's fantastic because that's probably about 80% of the leads that we are losing will be because we are slow to respond. But the question is, what's the right time? Right? You have the story with the lion that two people saw a angry lion, and one was taking his shoes off and started to run, and his friend said, "You can't run faster than the lion." He said, "Yeah, but I can run faster than you." So that's really the thing here. It's you need to run faster than your competition. So if you're able to respond faster than your competition, then you're in the right place. So fantastic question. So Carol, the idea is to collect people's answers and eventually have some kind of a benchmark of different industries or different time, something like that?
Yeah, so we'll have a benchmark of different, if you want to tell us what your industry is and your average first response time, and then we'll go based on that. So we'll have an average for each industry, and then you can find out if you're above or below that average.
For ABR client, you will have it in the lead system. We always have the lead response time, which we're calculating it from the moment that leads comes in all the way to the first phone call. So you guys will have the number. For other people, I assume that you are collecting this super important number.
And if you need help with figuring out what your first response time is, you can always contact us and we can help you out with that as well. So we are going to talk about Zoho Desk updates today. So these are updates as of August 2024. So
And 1 second, for people that don't know what is the Zoho Desk, Nelvin, quick quiz. What is Zoho Desk?
Right. Zoho Desk is a separate Zoho application that you can utilize, especially if you are in Zoho One. So it's a desk ticketing system, basically, much like any other ticketing system, but this is much more intuitive and much more user-friendly.
It's what I like, the most about Zoho Desk, which is, as Nelvin said, it's a ticketing system. It allows you to do two main things. One, your salespeople in CRM can see the tickets that are taking place for a customer. For example, if Nelvin right now is my client and I need to contact Nelvin for more sales, I will check the tickets, which means open problems. If there are open problems, I will jump in to help my client gain reciprocity, and then I have more points versus just contacting them to sell something new which obviously they won't buy when they are open tickets and they are upset.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing that I like Zodesk, there are small features that's saving the support world. As an example, Carol is a pissed off client. So Carol, you just bought from,
Angry.
yeah, it's just the face
Urgh.
there. So let's say that you just purchased this cup from us
Okay.
and it's all messed up. There is a problem. So you're upset, you're sending us a ticket, right?
Right.
Okay. You sent it today, 9 a.m. The company is supposed to respond in, let's say, 2 hours. So that's the company's policy. No one contacted you until 4 p.m. What's going on with you, with your frustration?
I'm getting more frustrated now.
Okay, so now me as an agent that's trying to save the day, I need to work much harder than that. Probably I will also get a bad review on the way.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is with Zodesk, I can put SLA, which means I can put the policy that we have in the company, I can put it actually with automation. That if ticket came in, which when Carol, super upset, she came in as a new ticket. If in 2 hours her ticket was not answered, it will be escalated to a manager.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe in another half hour, she will get a response. I can also control how fast people close tickets. So let's say in my business, for example, a ticket should be closed in 24 hours. So if a ticket is not closed in 24 hours, a manager also will get notification, which means me as a manager, I just need to have a dashboard versus check different tickets and shout on everybody.
Right.
So that's the cool thing about Zodesk for me. Nelvin, why are you so happy?
I was just happy because you mentioned you were gonna be shouting to your they're having backlogs or they are having some tickets not getting responded, which is a good thing to manage this one. And yeah.
Yeah, you have no idea how much money we made because of companies that were in this situation. You know, it came to us and we showed them the SLA. Just the SLA, probably we made like $500,000 from this one feature.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very, very nice ticketing system, and obviously lots of automation, lots of cool stuff, but that's the bare minimum.
Yeah. And now based on what they're changing in Zoho Desk, you're able to pull in Facebook Messenger and Instagram messages directly into Zoho Desk. So now those can be tickets inside of your system as well. And along with that, you can set up workflows to automatically respond to these messages. So that'll help you in terms of manpower and having people respond quickly, like we were just talking about.
On the bottom, you will see, if you can go back to the previous
Sure.
screen. So you see there also that you have WhatsApp integration and Messenger and Instagram and Line and so on. So you have bunch of socials and communication apps that you can integrate so people can communicate with you. Those will create tickets. So the entire idea that I see it as a cool thing, customers can use their own platform. So Carol likes to use emails. Nelvin likes to go to my website and post a ticket from the website. John likes to send WhatsApp messages. So everybody likes their own way. The idea that they're using what they know, they're sending it to Zodesk. Zodesk translates it to a ticket. So for me as a business, tickets are the best because tickets cannot get lost, like messages or emails and so on. And also, I don't need my team to be on 1,000 different platforms. When they respond, the person will receive it in their own preferred platform. That's part of the super cool department.
This is really a game changer. It's an all-in-one package ticketing system, support system that your company can access and Yeah, you see everything there, including all those platforms. Not everyone can do that. This is really good. This is a game changer.
Right.
Mhm.
And you can also manage multiple WhatsApp business accounts from Zoho Desk too. And then we also have you can trigger customer happiness surveys in the instant messaging chats. So that's amazing because now you can know if your clients are happy or not, and you can get that feedback from them.
Yeah, I thought they can do it only with emails, but I see that they also edit it in those areas. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The speed that they are inventing new features, it's just sick. It's insane.
Yeah,
Good
it's
for
insane.
them.
It's really good. Yeah.
And then you can also send mass WhatsApp business messages from Zoho Desk now as well. So that's really cool.
Very cool.
Okay, so next we have our creative Zoho solution.
Yeah, so we still have a customer. They have many customers, tens of thousands of customers that they need to renew every year. So they need to check if their status was changed, if everything is the same, the address, income, and so on and so on. The owner of the business is super creative. And he wanted to know if there is a better way to run it. Because right now, what they do, they bring small army of call center individuals. Each one of them need a computer and phone license and so on and so on and training. So it takes lots of resources and lots of money to contact all those people in a period of months and a half. They tried in the past different solutions with SMS and so on, didn't work so well. Because right now, in the last, let's say 2 years, we are experimenting a lot with AI, we created a solution with AI. Because if you just have a solution that is based on logic, I can ask, is your income changed the last year? If you say yes, the script will say yes, and then it will do something. But if you say yep, or yeah, or mm-hmm, or something that is positive but not yes, the system won't understand. In that case, AI will know if it's positive or negative, so I can continue with my work. If they're saying yes, I need to capture the new details, which means AI can do that, and I can inject all that back into the CRM.
Mhm.
If someone will ask a question about the company, where are you located? Are you still there? Is this and this still the CEO? Or how can I contact my sales rep? Different questions based on the knowledge base that is part of the AI will know how to respond to those questions. In addition, everything that I just told you is being stored in a module in CRM that you can see the questions and answers that are being sent and received.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but bottom line, it's not operational yet. It will be operational next month, but based on what we see, it's a revolution in this industry. Obviously, time-wise and also money-wise, it's a game changer.
Yeah, it feels like every step towards utilizing AI is a really big step forward. And this is one of the good examples. If we will um, make AI as an applicable solution for a system.
Yeah, I will show you. Give me 1 second. I will load our system. And I want to show you what we do internally with AI. So we have lots of AI things that we are doing in-house in our company. Just give me a second. Okay, so let me share screen. We created a bot that is replacing the management. So one of the problems that we have in the company, everybody asks questions, obviously, and it makes sense. The idea is to create different bots. So right now, I will show you the sales bot, but we have a bot also for developers if they need certain code, and bot for operations and so on. So here, for example, it's let's say I am new to the company. Who are the executives? Okay, so that goes into the AI that we built. It will inquire the database, and it will provide an up-to-date list with all the executives. So this is, for example, one of the usages. You have also how to conduct an intro meeting, what questions to ask on the first phone call, anything that is related to the operations of the business. Probably they're working on it because it's an internal tool, it's not external, so it's or slow or dead. But the bottom line, it will spit out the correct information. Okay, so you see that there is something here. Okay, so you see, just put the information. You have the executives as an example. So the idea is to have a system that can create a knowledge that is always up to date, but with some brain. So if, for example, a developer is looking for a specific code, they can say it in their own words, and then it will come up versus a regular search. And the regular search will not work the same way. The regular search will need to have exact phrases, which, one person would use one words and someone else will use something else. So this is how we use it internally.
Mm-hmm.
We do lots of AI stuff. This is one of them.
Just one of them. Maybe we can add that to our branding now, right? AI experts.
Yeah, we have a different company named Advanced AI that we are doing lots of full AI experiments there. It's not a company that we're selling anything. It's just for R&D. We poured hundreds of thousands of dollars the last 2 years on R&D, and it's really nice. It's good.
Okay, so for this session, what we're gonna be showing you is the credit card POS system, which is embedded into your Zoho CRM. Now, the main problem that we're trying to solve here is that most of the salespeople are all in the CRM. They are not part in Zoho Books. They are not in any accounting system. So what we're trying to resolve here is that for salespeople to be able to keep a card on file and be able to charge customers depending on the agreement, depending on the payment terms.
So just one thing, the thought process of starting this extension from the beginning was that we have lots of B2C customers that they are serving individuals. Those individuals likes to pay. Now, the office individuals, the admin, salespeople, they don't have access to the accounting system. So they need to or have an expensive POS that is external from the CRM, or they will need to ask for the accounting help. And in those both cases, it's loss of time and money. And this is why we created this specific extension, and Nelvin will show you also how it's being done.
So this extension is linked to Stripe as the payment gateway and linked to Zoho Books as the accounting application. Now I'm in the contacts, and in the contacts, it's quite easy. You have the contact name, the email, and then on the right side, you will have a button called credit card POS. Now, once you click the credit card POS, assuming this is the contact that you wanted to charge, you will have this widget. See here the name, and then you will either you can add a new card, or you can even select an existing card if there's already one on file. Okay, so let's say we want to select an existing card that was already added previously.
Can it have multiple cards, Nelvin?
Yes, absolutely. You can add as many cards as you want.
And where those cards are being stored? because there are PCI compliance, right? There are some issues with it. So what do we do here?
So in this case, we are saving it in, actually, I'm not sure if it's in our servers.
Yeah, so
We can cut that
the
part.
cards, yeah, it's Stripe. So we're not keeping anything in our system or the client system. We keep
Okay.
everything on Stripe, and there is just a connection from here to the card. So Nelvin, is there a way to save more than one card?
Yes, we can add as many as you want by selecting the new card.
Okay, now where those cards are being saved, because obviously PCI compliance is insane, and if a business is keeping credit cards on file, they can get sued, right? So it's a problem.
Yep. Yeah, that's a really good question, and thank you for asking that. So this, the data is being stored in Stripe, which is the
Got it.
payment gateway that we are using in this solution. So it's really secured, and y- everybody knows Stripe, right? So it's really secure. So you see here as well, if you are selecting an existing card, you are not shown the full card number, and you are not shown the CVV number as well. So on the CRM side, everything is also secured. And then you'll put the amount in here, and then you can put any description. So let's say month of September 2024.
And the
Then you can
description
charge
will
your
be in the
customer.
invoice, right?
Yes.
So it
So now you
automatically
can charge it.
creates an invoice in Zoho Books when you create a charge?
Yes, exactly. So the screen that we just saw right now is a confirmation page that we were able to charge the client. And there is also a related list called card transactions. So this way you'll be able to track any transaction with the amount, created date, and the status of the transaction if it really went through.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool that you can see immediately if it was successful or not.
Yep.
Did you just
So
charge my card? Just checking.
no, this is a test credit card from Stripe. So they provide some test cards, and then for the sake of the video, we didn't charge anybody.
Because I just
So
see
everyone's
my
safe.
Amex is showing me $5. So just checking.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
Very good. And this extension, by the way, because we have all the code base, we can integrate it with any card system out there. So right now we did it as a proof of concept with Stripe. That obviously it's in the marketplace and everybody can utilize it. But also if you're using any other credit card system, we can use the same code and utilize it. It won't be an extension, it will be a custom development project, but at least you're not starting from scratch, and we can utilize lots of code to make it happen.
All right, so next up, I'm gonna share my screen again. All right, so now let's have some fun. We're gonna do a hands-on workshop, how to create a workflow. So
Yeah.
we are going into the CRM. So if you want to do this with us and follow along, just open up your CRM and then you can create your own workflow as we create this one.
Uno momento, señorita. What is a workflow?
What is a workflow?
What does workflow do? Yeah. What is
A
it?
workflow is a type of automation inside of CRM. So it is based on some kind of if-then logic. So for example, if this field is yes, then send this contact an email. So that's what we're going to be building today. So it's one of the types of automations that you can have inside of CRM. It's a great tool for things like drip campaigns, if you want to send email drip campaigns or even text message drip campaigns. So that is what we're doing today.
Yeah, so usages for workflows will be endless. It can start from lead comes in and they automatically receive a text message or an email. Can be that we're sending, as Carol said, a drip campaign. Email today, email tomorrow, and whenever the prospect responds to the email, we're stopping those automations. Can be sending, whenever there is a close won deal, we are creating an invoice in Zoho Books or QuickBooks. So there are endless usages for workflows. So we'll show you how to do it.
Okay. So when you log in, we're going to go to our settings page. Okay. So then what we will do is I just type in typically workflow at the top. And then we're going to go to workflow rules. And here you're going to see all of your workflows that you have, if you have any. And we're going to create a new rule. And you have to select which module you're using it for. So we're going to create one on the leads module. And then you're going to give it a name. Always be very specific when you give it a name, because as you can see in our system, we have tons of workflow rules. So if we did not give it a good name, in 6 months, you're not going to know what that one does or why you made it. And then you're not going to know if you need to turn it off or not.
One comment about the module. Some people will not know which module to choose. The thought process needs to be that the workflow will have a trigger. So when something happens, as Carol said, when a lead is created as an example, you need to select the module that something happens on this module that will start everything. For example, when a new lead comes in, an email will be sent. Some people will choose the module as emails because the email is the action, but the module is supposed to be the trigger. What happens when something happens in a specific record, such as a new lead, that's how you know which module to choose in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And the description, by the way, as Carol said, once you're getting into lots and lots of workflows, the description is super useful, and that will be a brain dump of why creating it. So this workflow will send an email to a new lead to welcome them to the company or to let them know that we will contact them in 5 hours. But something, and then one day in 2-3 years, someone will see this workflow and they will like to delete it. They will see the thought process, or they will keep it, or they will refine it, but they will see why it was created from the first place.
One quick tip as well for some of the developers out there watching this video. We sometimes put the name of the author here. So author Nelvin Panaligan, and then date September 25, 2024. Again, it's related to what Lior mentioned as well earlier, where 3 years from now, 5 years from now, you have a problem with a certain workflow, you'll be able to backtrack when it was created, who created it, and what was it created for.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we in the company, we start every workflow, we'll say ABR dash, and we have the name. So the client will know it's us.
Okay. All right. So then we're going to click next. And now we're going to build our workflow. So the first condition is when. So when is this happening? So it can be on a record action, a date and time field, a record score, or record notes. We are going to go with a record action. So it can be when a record is created, when it's created or edited, when it's edited, or when it's deleted. So we're going to go on create. So we're in the leads module, and this workflow is going to happen anytime a lead is created.
Just a second, Steer. So if you click on record action again, you will have multiple options here. And the way that it's listed, this is probably the best way, because record action will be used about 80% of the times, which means record is created, record is edited, record is deleted. Something happened with the record, as an example for a lead. Date and time, it's something that happens on a specific date, such as on the lead birthday, send the text message saying happy birthday. Or when the driving license expiring, send the text message, hey, Lior, your driving license just expired. The next one will be a record score and notes. Those will be about maybe 0.5%. So if you just learn how to work with record actions, you're already in a fantastic place.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay, so next we're gonna go to our conditions. So we can have leads matching certain conditions or all leads. So for example, we can have, let's see, you can filter them by different fields. So we can say, and this is something that we use a lot, for test conditions. So if you want to test a workflow out before it's activated on live leads or contacts in your system, what you can do is, for example, put first name is test, and this workflow will not go out to anyone unless the first name is test. So this is the best way to create a workflow, is put a test condition on it, test it out, make sure the email goes out, make sure everything looks good, and then you can change it to all leads afterwards. But you can also have different conditions if that's what you require. But in this case, we're going to do all leads.
Okay, so the idea, by the way, of the criteria, let's say a lead is being created. The lead will be, for example, let's say I want to send a specific automation only to people from France. So if a lead comes and the country is France, they will receive SMS in French. And when the country is USA, the SMS will be English. In that case, the lead matching criteria will be country equals France. And then I can provide a specific action for France versus USA.
Mm-hmm.
Or as we did it, all leads, which means any lead that comes in, all of them will receive a message. I don't, by the way, obviously it's a demo and it's fine. Whatever we do on the demo is fine. I don't recommend sending an email or text message to any lead, because sometimes you will create them manually. So people that you met or people that you know, and as you create them, they will receive those emails and text messages, and it will be super awkward.
So it should typically be by lead source, right?
Yeah, when the lead is coming from the website or social media, so you have some rules, but I wouldn't do all leads. But obviously now we're just playing around, so for that purpose, it's awesome.
But just for the purpose of the people watching as well, we can add multiple criteria, right?
Right. So
And then
let's say I could do lead source is trade show, and then we can also
then we click that plus icon to add more, and then there is a
exactly.
pattern.
Yep. And you can do 1 and 2 or 1 or 2 or however you would like. And then if you need to remove one, you just click the minus.
Perfect.
And then you have instant actions or scheduled action. So an instant action means as soon as this lead is created, the action is going to happen. The email is going to go out immediately. A scheduled action means that it's going to happen at a specific time. So for example, it could be 2 hours after the lead is created. There may be a little bit of a delay there. And some people do prefer to have like a 10-minute delay after the lead comes in, because they want it to look like there was time for a salesperson to actually look at that lead and send them an email, a welcome email. So that is an option. But you would just click on the action, and then you have a lot of options here. So you can update a field, you can assign an owner, we can notify, which this is what we're going to be using, is via email. You can have activities, so you can create a task, a meeting, you can schedule a call, you can create a record. So there are lots of things that you can do in the workflow. But for this example, we're going to create an email. So you are going to, these are the email notifications we have set up already, but you'll need to set up a new one.
Let's
So
just assign one of them. I don't want to take the entire session on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we'll associate an email, and now this email is going to go out every time a lead is created. And if you were creating a drip campaign, you would have an instant action, and then you would have a scheduled action. So you would just let's say 5 days after the initial email went out, you wanted to have another email go out. So you would execute 5 days after the trigger time. And then again, you would do the same thing. You would notify via email. We would select an email, and now you have a drip campaign. So you can keep adding scheduled actions however long you want the drip to last. Now, I will say if you're creating a drip campaign, there is a limit as to how many scheduled actions you can have on one workflow. So if you have a long drip, you may need to create 2 workflows. And what you're going to do is on the second workflow, there will be no instant action and you'll only have scheduled actions, and it'll just pick up where you left off from the last workflow, if that makes sense. So that's just
for those drips, I prefer that you will contact a company like us or any other company, because most of those drip will need to break at some point. So let's say that I'm sending a drip campaign, and when someone responds, I would like to stop. And then you need someone that can do much more advanced workflows.
Mhm.
One more thing, if you can go to the action, I want to show one more thing.
Okay.
Just click on the action.
Oh.
Awesome. So you can see that you have there different actions, and one of them is the Ring Central SMS. It's on the bottom. So we created a very easy way for people that likes to send text messages from the workflows. We created a super easy way to do it, which means the other companies, they will require you to do APIs and webhooks in order to send messages. We just created a system for you that you can do everything from one place without knowing coding in any way or webhooks or anything like that. And you would do it the same thing. You will just click on, let's say, select template, and you can select an existing SMS or just write your own, and those will be sent. So it's super easy to create those automations. Just to summarize the entire workflow, step number 1 is a trigger. So can you close it, Carol? We'll
Sure.
just check the
We'll just
entire thing.
review.
Yep. So step number 1, you have the when. The when is a trigger. When something happens, this workflow will run. Then you can have a condition. With condition, without condition, it will work. And the last thing is the action. Now you can have one or more actions taking place, and you can have conditions. We're not going to any of it right now. Can be super complicated, but as long as you know the process, you can start experimenting with it the same way that Carol told you. Basically add first name equal test as an example. Then you won't mess up your customers, and it won't send random emails to people, even if your workflow is not great.
Yep. Okay.
Awesome.
So that was our mini workshop. And now we're going to jump into our problem solving, which is where we answer the questions from the community. So number 1 is, how can I track the performance of my sales team more effectively? So tracking the performance of your sales team, number 1, you need to be collecting data inside of your system. So that is where you start. You have to have the correct fields to report on, or else you're not going to have anything to look at. So that's going to be your starting point. For example, we were talking about the lead first response time at the beginning of the session. That's a great field to have. And now you can have that field and you can create reports based on that. And you can know how quickly your sales team is responding to leads.
Okay. So I think Carol touched on the most important thing about anything to do with tracking or analytics and reports. We will have endless clients coming to us with systems, and they will say, I want to see a report doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We check the system, the data is not being collected. If the data is not being
Right.
collected, you cannot report on it. So as Carol said, step one, there need to be proper architecture. We always talk about it. Proper architecture of the system. So proper data will be collected. So at the end of the process, you can start generating reports.
Yeah.
Super important.
I think we've discussed this already multiple times in the past Q&A sessions. Something about data integrity. So
Mm-hmm.
we have clients where they are not using the default fields, for example, default phone fields, default mobile fields, default last name, first name, and that causes problems down the line. So again, if we're to answer this question, make sure that you have the fields and make sure the fields have the correct data as well.
So how can I measure the effectiveness of my marketing campaigns? So we actually have a feature inside of the CRM where you can track your marketing campaigns. So for example, you could have one for Google Ads and it tracks it based on the UTM parameter. And so you would be able to see, I can actually show you really quick.
I wonder what UTM stands for. You guys know.
Universal tracking metric, something like that. Let me check.
So it would pull in all of the leads from this source and it would track if you've converted them into a contact and if they have an opportunity, and then if that opportunity is won or lost. So now you're going to track the actual cost of this campaign, what your revenue is, and your ROI. And the idea is that you would have all of your campaigns listed here and you would be collecting that data for all of the campaigns. So you can start to determine which ones you should continue investing in and if they're performing or not. And that way you have your own data to go by and you're not just going by, you know, your marketing guy is telling you, well, I'm bringing leads in. Are they quality leads or not though? Are they actually being converted? So now you have all of that data.
If you go 1 second to the trade show, to the New York, and check mark the include open opportunities. So that can show you also, if you have anything in the pipeline, it can also show you that. So we didn't close anything, but in the pipeline, we have enough business. So the return of investment is fantastic, actually, versus when it was off, that you saw that it's basically a losing campaign.
Right.
All the campaigns that you saw in the list before, if you can click on campaigns, all those are being generated automatically by the system. So that is all automatic using the feature, the solution that we created. It's not part of Zoho, it's something that we created. So it's, if you have trade shows, any campaigns, I'm tracking, for example, on my videos using UTMs. So when someone comes as a lead from a video, I will know from which video they came, which campaigns, and if I see lots of traffic from a specific video, I will make more of those videos because I know those are converting. So the UTM is a fantastic way to track your efforts or the money you spend.
Absolutely. How can I improve customer retention and track customer satisfaction with support tickets? So I think we covered a lot of this at the beginning of the session. So with Zoho Desk, you have the escalations that you can set up, the SLAs, to make sure that people are getting communication back in a decent amount of time based on your company policies. So that will help with the customer retention. And then of course they have the happiness satisfaction rating. So that will give you data to kind of assess if they are actually happy with the support that they are receiving.
Some companies will put most of the effort in the before client is a client, basically the sales process, the lead process. But once they have clients, they will ignore them, which is so stupid because you already put so much effort into the relationship and now you're just dumping it. Doesn't make sense. So anything to do with the post customer purchase, super important. And this is a fantastic question.
How can I know if my account managers are contacting their clients like they're supposed to? Nelvin, I think you have a solution for this.
How can I know if my account managers are contacting the clients?
So we have,
So
yeah.
go ahead, Lior.
So we have a solution. We just have another 2 minutes and this session is over. I just want to run relatively fast on those questions. We have a solution that we created. Again, it's on top of Zoho, but it's not a Zoho solution. It's our solution. We created a very nice solution that account managers needs to contact their existing customers. The management will know if they're actually doing their job. Yeah, and it's a solution that we created in-house. It's not part of Zoho. It works really, really well.
Is it critical to set up roles and permissions in the CRM? So if you're the only person using your CRM, no. But if you have anyone working for you or with you, yes, you need to set up the roles and permissions. This is going to determine what information people can see. So if they can see certain records or if they can see everything in the system, and also what they can do. So can they delete your data? Can they export your data? Those are things that you don't want your employees doing. You can set up if they're able to edit certain records or just view them. It's really critical to have all of that in place for your employees to make sure that nothing crazy is going to happen to your system. Because the last thing you want is your data to be deleted or for them to take all of your contacts and go start their own business.
Yeah, the white hair that I have and white beard is not because I'm old. I'm actually 15. It's because of all the horror stories that we heard from people that employees stole their database and sold to the competition. Angry employee deleted the entire account. Crazy things. Yeah, you need to have proper permissions in the system. We can help you. Anyone can help you, but you need to do it.
Okay, so is Zoho Desk used to keep track of emails or just a support ticketing system? So funny, we actually did try to use Zoho Desk for emails a long time ago. I don't recommend it. Honestly, I think it's made to be a support ticketing system and that's what it should be used for.
Right.
Using it for emails, it has its benefits, but overall, I don't think it's worth it. Do you have any input on that, Lior?
100% agree. The logic is there. It makes sense that you don't have this catch-all email that everybody access. The problem is it takes time to manage every email because the email is a ticket. So you win here, you lose there. Eventually, we dump the idea.
Yeah, we had to have a person just to delegate the emails to the proper people.
Yeah.
It was a full-time job keeping track of that.
Yep.
Okay, so that's all we have for today. There is a form in the description because we would love to hear your ideas for what you want to see during these sessions. So if you have any ideas for the workshops, if you have questions you want to submit, anything at all, we would love to hear your feedback. So just fill out that form below and we will go through those and we'll be in touch if we did decide to utilize your idea. So we appreciate all of that. And we thank you for coming to this session today.
Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful
you.
day. Thank you, Carol.
Bye.
Thank you, Nelvin.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.